We have a saying in Ireland, Céad Míle Fáilte Rót, and it's translated into English as 100,000 welcomes. But I'm really glad to be one of the first to welcome you on behalf of the National Youth Council.
I'm from the UK, Poland,
I'm coming from Latvia.
Croatia.
I come from Bulgaria.
From Austria, from the Austrian National Youth Council.
That's the unique feature of this conference, that it is the policymakers and the young people in discussions together, working out how to deal with the greatest challenges of our time for young people.
Ministry and youth delegates, we are more than glad to present the joint conclusions of the EU Youth Conference in Dublin.
Employment. Employment leads to inclusion. Young people in employment shall have the right to equal and fair treatment, especially the right to decent work and salary, non-precarious jobs, training and promotion opportunities, and should not face discrimination based on age.
To ensure the transition from education to employment, young people should be provided with quality career guidance counselling and job coaching, paid internships and paid apprenticeships of good quality that meet their skills and interests.
Financial, administrative and other necessary support, as well as entrepreneurial education and training, should be provided to encourage youth entrepreneurship with an emphasis on green and social entrepreneurship.
Education. Inclusive education for all young people. To provide a holistic approach to education, sustainable frameworks that ensure collaboration between formal and non-formal education and learning should be established, whilst platforms between schools, universities, youth organisations and non-formal learning providers are also developed.
Secure equal access to free and good quality education from primary to tertiary level for all young people, including those with citizenship other than that of the country of residence, and others at risk of social exclusion.
To build a culture of understanding, acceptance and respect, education systems must promote participation in decision-making, diversity and inclusion, rather than focus solely on exams and certificates. This should also be reflected in everyday school practices.
This review will enable us halfway through the lifespan of our EU Youth Strategy to bring improvement. The structured dialogue has kicked off well, and I'm sure that this review will enable it to mature.
Participation. Equal rights and equal opportunities to participate in civic life. International legal provisions grant young people rights. It is essential that all young people have equal access to these rights and are provided with equal opportunities to fully participate in society.
Young people often experience multiple discrimination on grounds such as age, ethnicity, sexual orientation, disability, religion and gender identity. Therefore, an anti-discrimination directive should be adopted by the EU and implemented and evaluated at all levels.
Young people are demotivated to participate and underrepresented in democratic life. They should be encouraged and empowered through education, civil society and representative institutions. Existing and new tools should be developed to enhance youth participation in policy making.
Welfare. Access to welfare In order to meet young people's needs and to ensure coherent welfare policies and equal access to welfare systems, cross-departmental and cross-sectorial cooperation on and between local, regional, national and European levels should be strengthened.
Young people must be guaranteed social rights, in particular, equal and free access to mental and physical health care and affordable, decent housing.
Young people should be provided with youth-friendly information, guidance, financial support and training on employment, migration, healthcare, housing, etc. and an accessible one-stop service. This should also serve as a place for dialogue between generations and with social partners.
I think that today went really great, and I'm really looking forward to the Opinion Boulevard because I have never done it before. So I'm looking forward to see all the opinions and all the things that the groups put together.
Today and yesterday was great. We see a lot of young people actively involved in Ireland, and the young people here actively involved with the ministries, talking about social inclusion and coming up with concrete recommendations. And my part on welfare was very concrete, and I'm looking forward to making 3 concrete recommendations.
It is a process, it's a means to an end, it's not the end in itself, and therefore the outcome of the structured dialogue process and indeed of this conference must translate into strong recommendations that then are followed through by way of action, both at a national level and at a European level.
Support social and youth services for young people.
Youth services, social services, and formal education institutions should work together with young people and their families to prevent social exclusion of young people.
Quality psychological support and counselling in formal and non-formal education settings include youth centres, information and counselling centres should be enhanced and tailored to the specific needs of youth groups, especially those who are socially excluded.
All media, traditional and social, should be better utilised to increase visibility of, access to and awareness of youth work in order to engage more diverse groups of young people.
In order to ensure that you reach out to everyone, that you give equal opportunities. You cannot force young people to be part of something, and it's good that you still have young people who prefer to demonstrate outside of the gates or who prefer to be on the street. We need those voices as well. It's our duty as representatives of young people to hear those voices and to channel them and to make them into policy suggestions so that we can lobby the politicians who then take the decisions, and they are then democratically accountable.
Youth organisations and social inclusion. In order to reach out to more diverse groups of young people, especially those at risk of social exclusion, youth organisations should create and continuously update their support structures, working methods and channels of communication.
Youth-led organisations and democratic, representative youth structures should be actively involved at local, regional, national and European level, from the initiation in the creation, deliberation, implementation and monitoring of policies that affect young people's lives.
Youth organisations should be recognised for their contribution to the social inclusion of young people through non-formal education and learning, which provides necessary skills and competences for active citizenship.
And we are trying to learn from each other, and we are trying to use that expertise in order to create a concrete plan and to arrive at some conclusion which will present them to the European Commission.
Quality. Assuring quality in youth work to ensure social inclusion. Recognition of youth work should be ensured at EU and national level through participatory policy development, sustainable financial support, an institutional framework, and development of evidence in order to acknowledge the impact of youth work on social inclusion and across different policy fields.
To foster social inclusion, the development of self-assessment frameworks for quality assurance in youth work should be encouraged. Such frameworks should be progressively implemented, supported and communicated, and involve all stakeholders in the youth field.
Young people should always have a decisive role and voice in shaping youth work, as a safe and inclusive space for them to be empowered, co-decide, grow and contribute to social change.
It's great to hear all the different opinions from everyone from all the different parts of Europe. It's amazing to hear how different youth organisations work in the likes of Lithuania and Bulgaria and places like that.
Through structured dialogue, I think that we are giving an opportunity to express ourselves, to express our ideas. It's a very important step in order to be able to discuss other issues in the future and promote solutions in problems that probably affect our everyday life in youth in this European big family.